Welcome back to Good Morning Leo. Now we will have our favorite segment, Biochemistry Dish of the Day. But today, we have a very special guest, known for a world-renowned protein medley, an awesome biochemist. Please welcome Alison Mitz! Welcome! How are you? I'm happy to have you
Oh,
here.
I'm so glad to be here.
So, what's on the protocol of the day today?
Well, today we're going to look at the expression of our favorite recombinant protein.
Oh, awesome! Let's get started!
Transformation occurs when E. coli ingests the foreign DNA from its surroundings. And then, when considering a controlled environment, such as a laboratory, the plasmid is added to the bacteria. This mixture must first undergo heat shocking in order for the plasmid to enter the bacteria. This is done by cooling the sample and then immediately heating the sample in order to open up the bacteria's pores, and then once again cooling the sample to close those pores once the plasmid has entered. And once this is complete, transformation is done.
So now, let's get started.
All right, so first we're going to add our bacterial sample.
We need to have our lab mitts on.
All right, let's begin. So first we're going to add about 1,000 microliters of our bacterial sample E. coli to a blank test tube. Alrighty. There we are. Thank you. Now we're going to dispose of the pipette tip properly in a biohazard waste. All right. Now we are going to add our plasmid. So we're going to add about 2 microliters to this one, to the exact same sample, to the exact same blank sample. You can open that for me, please. Alrighty. And now that our plasmid and E. coli have been mixed, we're going to incubate on ice for 20 minutes.
So please stay with us as we hear a message from our sponsors.
The DHFR enzyme is an enzyme that converts dihydrofolate into tetrahydrofolate, or THF. THF is required for the synthesis of all essential nucleic acids. His6 is a protein purification tag that allows for simple detection of the protein of interest. The protein is also tagged with GST, which fuses to the N-terminus of the recombinant protein to increase its solubility into the E. coli. An ampicillin resistance gene is added in order for the bacteria to survive on the agar plates used. And finally, the T7 promoter is added to help control the level of gene expression, and it is controlled by the inducible lac promoter. Welcome back. Now that we've cooled our sample on ice for 20 minutes, we're going to start the process of heat shocking. So the first thing we do is we take the sample and we heat it up in a water bath that's set to 37 degrees Celsius. We do this for 90 seconds. And the reason that we do this is when you heat the sample, the E. coli opens its pores and the plasmid is able to get in. Now that we've incubated for 90 seconds, we're going to take that sample and put it back on ice. We do this so that the E. coli's pores can now close now that the plasmid has entered, and this way nothing will get in or out. So now that we've heat shocked our sample and transformation is complete, we are ready to plate it. So we're going to use an LB plate and an LB plate containing ampicillin. So first, with our micropipette, we're going to add 100 microliters of our sample to each plate. Thank you. And add this to your plate. Alrighty. Alright, so now that the sample is in our plate, we are going to add these little balls in order to streak the sample around the plate evenly. Alrighty. Here's a few. And we're just going to let them roll around and spread the sample everywhere. Now that we've streaked our sample everywhere, we are going to incubate overnight at 37 degrees Celsius. After waiting 24 hours, the LB plate should have a lawn of bacterial growth because it has both bacteria that does and does not contain the plasmid. The LB amp plate should have individual colonies of only the bacteria that contains the plasmid. This is because the plasmid-containing bacteria are the only cells able to resist the ampicillin, whereas the rest of the bacteria was killed off. We're going to use the surviving bacteria to express the protein. In order to complete the expression of our recombinant protein, we must collect the colonies and measure the amount of cells within the colony using a spectrophotometer. Once measured, we will add inducer protein IPTG in order to induce the expression of the T7 promoter and any gene placed downstream of that promoter, and once again measure the amount of cells using the spectrophotometer. The results should show a larger concentration value in the second measurement due to an increased expression.
Thanks for tuning in.
But before you leave,
Here's the meme of the day.